our last night on this passage. The last 36 hours have been one heck of an adventure here on Tela.
Self-made, self-taught, through and through.
We decided to change our destination also.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go in.
As we sailed out of Mexican waters, we took down our Mexican courtesy flag that we had up while we were in Mexico.
The storm is coming, but I'm prepared. I'll be gone for a while, but don't be scared. Right now, I don't know if I'll ever arrive. Where the grass is green, we're still.
Hey y'all, so we are off the coast of Cuba and we are passing Havana, Cuba. Off to our starboard side, you can see the skyline of Havana, Cuba. Now, U.S. flagged vessels are currently prohibited from sailing into Havana. You can get special government permission, you fill out a bunch of paperwork and be in a specific category and check all these boxes and jump through all these hoops, and U.S. citizens can travel to Cuba, but U.S. flag sailing vessels cannot really sail into Cuba. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go in. We originally wanted to sail into Cuba. Just off to our starboard side, up the coast from Havana, Cuba, is Marina Hemingway. It's a popular marina where cruising boats stop in and visit Cuba. So we would love to take you all there. We would love to see it, but we have to settle for the skyline right now. But it's neat and cool just to be off the coast of Cuba. The unique thing about Cuba that always draws people is how it's supposedly stuck in a time warp. People are driving around in 1957 Chevys and things like that. But it really doesn't seem like that from the coast here of Havana. Of course, Havana is the capital of Cuba. So the outlying areas and smaller towns certainly probably are still stuck in a time warp. It'd be super awesome. It'd be super cool to get to go explore that country. But for now, we get to sail along the coast as we rock on and head our way to San Salvador. We only have about 8 knots of wind right now, and it's unfortunately bounces up to around 10, but it's unfortunately right on the nose or just off the nose. So we have our code D sail out, D as in diesel. So we are motor sailing with our Volvo Penta diesel right now, unfortunately. Hopefully in a few more hours we get some favorable wind conditions and get the sails back up. We had 2 epic days of sailing. Our first 2 days out from Isla Mujeres. It was awesome stuff sailing on Tela. But for now we're motoring and we're looking forward to making our way on this day 3 into more favorable conditions on the way to San Salvador.
What's you cooking, good looking?
We're going to have some smoked fish and some seasoned vegetables.
Who taught you to cook so good? Or is that just one of your many natural talents?
Self-made, self-taught, through and through.
Thank you for dinner, baby.
Of course, babe.
It looks delish. I can't wait to dig in. As we watch the rolling waves of the ocean, the sun will soon set, closing out day 3 of our passage. With every wave passing under Tela, we are grateful for the journey of sailing around the world. The last 36 hours have been one heck of an adventure here on Tela. We cast the lines off in Isla Mujeres, Mexico, and headed east to San Salvador in the Bahamas, and that was our plan.
And y'all, as famous boxer Mike Tyson once said, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Now there's a few ways to get to San Salvador in the Bahamas from Isla Mujeres. There's a south route, then there's a north route. The route planning app that we used had 5 options, and 3 of those options were a south route, 2 of them were a north route. So we picked a south route. And everything was fine and dandy and going right according to plan until we got just east of Havana, Cuba, and then, you guessed it, we got punched in the mouth by the good old Gulf Stream and Mother Nature. And y'all, when we got punched in the mouth, we had 20+ knots of wind dead in our face. We had waves breaking over the bow of our boat, and it was absolute hell, just to be honest with you. And as Winston Churchill once said, when you're going through hell, keep going. But that doesn't always mean you have to keep going in the same direction. So we made a left hook and headed north. After we made that left hook, we headed north off the coast of the Florida Keys, about Marathon Key. Then we jumped into the Straits of Florida and hugged the coast of Florida around, and then made our turn northeast across the good old Gulf Stream once again on Tela and headed toward the Bahamas.
That's right, and since our route changed and now we're taking that northern route, we decided to change our destination also. So now we're headed to Spanish Wells on Eleuthera Island.
As we sailed Tela northeast across the Straits of Florida and the Gulf Stream, we were in pretty gusty winds, gusting from 25 to 30 knots. With the gusty conditions, we had out a sliver of mainsail along with our staysail. We were cruising right along through the choppy stream at 6.5 to 7 knots.
Alright guys, I have been on night shift for like 2 hours and Sean is finally getting some rest. He usually will only sleep for an hour at a time, and he's finally slept for 2 hours this time. I think he really needs to get some sleep. But it is our last night on this passage, and I'm excited because tomorrow we arrive at our destination midday to afternoonish. Looking at the iPad, getting closer and closer. I still need to go take a shower, and I'm gonna wait till it is Sean's turn to have his night shift, and I'm gonna do all of that. I've just been sitting here and being super alert and reading a page, and then standing up, looking around, making sure I see nothing, looking at the iPad and AIS and all of that, reading another page of my book, doing the same thing. It's been a really good night shift so far. But yeah, I just wanted to check in. I'm just so excited that we're gonna be at our destination tomorrow. I think I definitely need to stretch these legs a little bit, and little Delilah girl, she's sleeping at my feet as usual. I think she needs to stretch her legs too. So, anywho, back tomorrow. Alright y'all, we're super duper excited because we're entering the Egg Island Cut to go to Spanish Wells. No!